So the kind of training I was going through was tough for me. There was one day, there was this day, it was so much. And I was not crying. I said, now, I'm tired, that this is too much. Am I the only Christian in this place that this training, it was just too much for me. I was telling God that this hellfire, now I'm ready to go. My name is Joke Clementina Mubuko. I'm a missionary with Capro. I went to the School of Mission in 2007. Before going for missions, I was a practicing lawyer. I finished from Ahmadu Bello University, where I had my first degree in law. Then I went to the Nigerian Law School. I was called to the Nigerian Bar in 1996. I practiced for 9 years as a lawyer, but pleased the Lord to call me to be a missionary. It was a tough decision for me. When I was having the conviction in my heart, I had to pray. I said, is this what God will have me to do? As a person, I didn't want to be a missionary. I was enjoying my law practice. I was an usher in church. I was enjoying what I was doing as an usher. I was enjoying visiting my family. I was happy with what I was doing, but the call came. It was a tough decision for me, and I had to pray to God. I said, Lord, I don't want to be a missionary, but if you have me to be a missionary, I want you to do three things for me. Then I know that it is you that is really calling me to be a missionary. And one of the three things I said, I said, Lord, if you want me to be a missionary, that year I was traveling outside the country. I was going for my holiday. I was going for vacation. Then I prayed. I told God that if you want me to be a missionary, let the first church I will go in this country that Sunday, let them be talking about missions. And I went to that church. It was the King's Church in Manchester. And they're talking about missions. When I got in and they talking about missions, I just told myself, it's a coincidence. Then I said, Lord, okay, I said three things. If you want me to do missions, then I used to do Every Day with Jesus. That was my devotional book, what I used for my devotionals. So I told the Lord that, God, I don't want to be a missionary, but if you have me to be a missionary, let the next edition of Every Day with Jesus, let them be talking about Jonah that was running away. When the month came, I went to a Christian bookshop, still in England then. I walked into this bookshop, and I just went for Inspiring Women, the women edition of Every Day with Jesus. And I opened the devotional. We were discussing about Jonah. I told myself, there is a coincidence. You know, when you don't want to do something, you always look for an excuse. So I said, Lord, I said three. Okay, the third one. If you really have me to be a missionary, let somebody that doesn't have this idea, let them speak to somebody else about it. That was the third. I used the word test I gave the Lord. So I did that my travel from the UK. I came back to Nigeria, though I was a chapter member in Kaduna. I was in Kaduna then. So one of the days, the chapters, what they do is that chapters are people's civil servant, people working, people doing business, but they come together to pray, to support mission. I happen to be a member. So when I came back, we normally do like a weekend. We go on a Friday, then come back on Sunday, so that those that are working can go back to their working places. So in one of those fields, we met a missionary couple. We visited them, we encouraged them, and we came back. After some months that I've gone for that trip, that missionary couple, the wife came to Kaduna, to town. Meanwhile, I told you I was a practicing lawyer. Then, couple, when they have any issue they call, I discuss. So one of the zonal director of Kaduna then, not national director, called and said they want to register one of the schools. So they called me, being a practicing lawyer. So on getting to the office, I met this sister. So she now said I shouldn't be angry, that when we came visiting them on the field, that she had a dream. And in that dream, she was praying for all of us that came for that trip. And in that dream, it was not a dream. While she was praying, as if she was in a trance, that the Lord told her to come and tell me that He doesn't want me to do missions again, to support. He wants me in the work. When she gave me that news, I struggled. But thank God, I answered the call. I knew that this is for God to have gone this way. For me to come and answer this call is something He wanted me to do. And that was that. With much struggling, I came for missions. My training was not easy. Doing school of missions, you're exposed to, cross-cultural mission. You're exposed to different lives that you are not used to. How to manage yourself when you get to the fields and to adjust to the new culture. I remember our training in Ghana was so tedious. I remember one particular experience, when we were asked to carry blocks, because, when they moved the blocks, we were asked to carry it. So the person that placed the blocks on my head did not place it well. And the blocks, I was going through much pains. Then the Lord told me, say, Joke, that morning my devotion was, what will separate us from the love of God? The Lord reminded me and said, Joke, is it block that will separate us? And that was how, the Lord helped me. I think one of the challenges I had when I was answering my call was, before coming in, I was engaged, but I had to build the relationship. Because the person I was engaged to did not have mission call, but I knew that the Lord called me. That was another tough experience. But thank God, I was able to disengage myself from that relationship and followed the Lord. My experience in School of Mission was not easy, but the Lord helped me through. I remember one of the days again, I was having my challenges, in the midst of it. That day when the school, when you're in the School of Mission, as part of the training, the training is a total package to equip you that. So wherever you are being sent to, you'll be able to survive as a missionary. You'll be able to survive anywhere, because you'll be able to survive. So the kind of training I was going through was tough for me. There was this day, it was so much. And I was not crying. I said, now, I'm tired, that this is too much. Am I the only Christian in this place that this training, it was just too much for me? I was telling God that this hellfire, now I'm ready to go. It was tough for me. So when I got back to the hostel, my colleagues were telling me, Joke, sorry. That was how I slept. Most of the time, the Lord comes to me through dreams. So in that dream, when I was in the School of Mission, I had this very close friend. In that dream, my friend said, come and see me. So in that dream, I was going, the road was tough. They were like going through some bushy turns, you fall, you ride. I was saying, if my friend said I should come, I must get there. Because of the love I have for my friend, I wanted to reach where she was. So I didn't mind what I had to go through. Then the Lord just looked at me and said, if I can do this for that, my friend, what about him? That was how I didn't go again. There was a time again, they sent us one of our first field experience on the field. And we had our assessment, and I was not too, one of my colleagues said something that I was not too happy about the assessment. The thing really hurt me. Then I cried. I said, I don't blame these people, that when I finish, after from this field trip assessment, I'm going back to my work. My work was still waiting for me. I was a practicing lawyer. They loved me in my office. They didn't want me to go. I had my flats waiting for me as a single person. I had everything. I said I was going to go back, that enough of all this. Then the Lord came through again. In that dream, I saw my father. My father said, Joke, help me to work this farm. I just turned to my father. I was very angry in that dream. I said, I'm not going to do any farm. You are telling me to work on a farm. I don't have what it takes. I'm not going to work on this farm. My father quietly left me. After a while, I now saw one of my auntie. And my auntie now came and said, Joke, I was now complaining against my auntie that God is telling me to work a farm. I don't have what it takes. So my auntie was persuading, why don't I look at that farm? Why don't I look at farm? So in that dream, reluctantly, I just turned my eye. The place was beautiful. The Lord woke me and said, Joke, if I allow him, this is how he will make my life beautiful. And that's why I did not go. The Lord helped me to complete my School of Mission. Finished my training in 2007. And by His grace, I've done church planting. I've done admin, my profession, my background, I was an admin person. I work in the church planting setting. From there, I did admin. I went to our zonal office, work as an account staff, and I did a bit of hospitality. From there, did admin at 2 different times. Then again went to Togo, Lord, as a married person. Then back to Nigeria, working at our national office in Abuja as a member care unit head. I thank God. The journey has not been easy, but God has been faithful. I thank God for His mercies. I had my challenges. There are times of needs, but God pulled through for us. Our work is trusting God. One thing I've learned in this work is trusting God, trusting Him. As the ministry, we trust God. We trust God by faith. It's a faith ministry, and for these past many years, since 2007, the Lord has been there. You see, it pays. I thank God. I thank God that I am doing missions today. I thank God that I am still here. It's not by my power. I thank God that I remember one of the experience on the field. One of the villagers was saying that, if it's not for mission, how can people like us come together? I thank God what Capo is doing. Because of the work of missions, a lot of souls are being reached. Because of mission, people that have not heard about God, they've heard about God. Light is coming to dark places. And that's what God, to be carriers of light. It's a privilege to serve Him. It's a privilege to be a missionary. I remember when I told my parents, especially my mother, I wanted to go and do missions. It was weird for her. She was wondering that, why should I leave my profession to go and be a missionary? And I thank the Lord that I was able to come. Now she has realized it, and I remember there was time she was apologizing that, Joke, sorry, that all what she did when I wanted to be mission. It's not easy, but God has proved Himself faithful. I want to thank Him today. All the things I missed, I told you I was engaged, I had to drop the relationship, but today I'm a married woman. God has blessed me. All those things that I thought that if I follow the Lord, I will lose. God has given me even more than you can imagine. I thank Him for His goodness. I thank Him for His mercy. Just to encourage the young ones there, it pays to serve God. You see, the Bible said, what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world? At the end of it, is when all is over, is what I did for the Lord. Even all these are running up and down. If the Lord does not help you, there's nothing you can do. But there's nothing as good as serving God, being where God will have you to be, being where. And I give God all the praise. I just to encourage us, is God telling you to be a missionary? You don't have anything to be afraid of. Take the bold step.